Are you thinking of moving to Australia, but you don't know where to start and you're confused and overwhelmed because there's so many things to consider? I feel you, I get you. I was in the same place 7 years ago and it can be a bit overwhelming. So to make your life easier, in this video I give you 8 essential tips about moving to Australia, how to get started, and hopefully by the end of the video you're going to have a bit more confidence and you're going to feel a bit more prepared to get started. Tip number 1, define your goal. Why are you coming to Australia? What's your purpose? Are you coming for work? Are you coming to study? Or are you coming as a backpacker? This is going to determine the kind of visa that you get, what city you live in, your costs. Ask yourself, why do I want to go to Australia and what do I want to do there? Tip number 2, visas. After you decide your purpose for coming to Australia, you need to find out what a visa you will need. If you're coming for work, you're going to need a work visa or a sponsored visa. If you're coming as a backpacker, you're going to need a work and travel visa. If you're coming to study, you're going to need to get a student visa. The best way to find out what visa you will need is to go to the Australian immigration website. As you can see, there are many visa options with the specific requirements that you need to meet in order to get that visa. So I encourage you to go online and do your research. However, if you feel that you don't have all the time in the world to do all this research, I would suggest you to contact a migration agent or an education consultant. A migration agent can help you know your options, the type of visas that you will need depending on your goal for coming here. Bear in mind that migration agents cost money. So it's an investment. Whereas if you're coming to study and you want a bit of advice about the student visa, the education agent will be the best person to help you with that. And the best thing of all is that they are free because they get a commission from the university that you are applying to. And that's what I did when I came here to Australia 7 years ago. And they helped me with absolutely everything with no costs at all. How can you find a trustworthy migration agent or education consultant? I would suggest going online using Google, reading the reviews, and make sure that they're a trustworthy consultancy. For migration agents, make sure that they are registered with MARA, M-A-R-A. You can check this on the MARA website. I'll leave you the link below. Another alternative is to ask for recommendations in Facebook groups of expats and maybe they can give you some advice. Tip number 3, start studying English right now. If you want to apply for a student visa or a work visa or even the work and holiday visa, you're probably going to need to demonstrate that you have a specific English level. And to demonstrate this, you're going to need to sit a test. This is usually the IELTS, British English, or the TOEFL, American English. I know that there are other tests around, but these are the main tests that are usually used for migration purposes. I know it's horrible, I hate tests too, but it's very important to do it. Not only for your visa, but also to live here in Australia. If you're coming to live here, your life is going to be so much easier if you have at least a basic level of understanding of English. For example, in my case, 1 year before coming to Australia, I could barely speak English, but studying for this test is what took my communication skills to the next level. So it's very, very important for you to actually study for this test. Start reading science fiction books or watching some TV shows, listening to podcasts. Start immersing yourself in the English language. Tip number 4, you need to decide what city you're going to live in. I would recommend choosing the city that best matches your lifestyle. At the end of the day, you're moving here because you want a better quality of life or adventures. Whatever city you choose, make sure it's a good fit. So go to Perth or Sydney if you want warm weather, nice beaches, if you like the ocean, if you like the sunshine. These are amazing places if you want that kind of life. Or come to Melbourne if you're more into museums and culture and bars and coffee. There's so many things to do here. Just be mindful of the crazy weather. Or if you want something more chilled, less crowded, quieter, and more nature-oriented, I would suggest having a look at life in Tasmania or Adelaide or even Canberra. Why not? Tip number 5, check your financial situation. Coming here is a huge investment, whether you're coming for work, as a backpacker, or as a student. In order to get some visas, the government will ask you to demonstrate that you have enough funds, that is enough money to support yourself during your stay in Australia. So it's very important to have your finances in order and make sure that you have enough savings. The amount of savings that you need to show will depend on the visa that you're applying to. It may vary. For example, if you're a student but you're only coming for 3 months, the amount of fundings that you need will be different to someone who is coming to study for 2 years. So bear that in mind as well. Tip number 6, get health insurance. For whatever reason you're coming to Australia, I highly recommend you to get health insurance. Why? Because if you have a medical emergency, that's good, or a tummy ache, or you just need a general medical checkup, having health insurance will give you that peace of mind that all your medical costs or some of your medical costs are covered. There are many health insurance providers, and the price you pay each month will depend on the type of cover you choose to have. You can get a basic health insurance or a more premium one, which means you'll get more benefits, such as more expensive or specialized surgeries. So the cover you choose depends on your health needs. How can you find a health insurance provider? Google. Type in Private Health Insurance Australia, or if you're an international student, type in OSHC Australia, which stands for Overseas Student Health Cover, and you'll get plenty of options for health insurance providers. There are also websites that actually allow you to compare the different health insurance providers. Another alternative is that if you have a migration agent or education consultant, have a chat to them and maybe they can guide you through that process as well. Tip number 7, get vaccinated. The Australian government is currently requiring all people coming into the country to get vaccinated against COVID-19. This is for your own benefit and that of your community, to keep us all safe. If you're not vaccinated, it's unlikely that you'll be able to come to the country. So tip number 8, have fun. Have fun doing your research and planning this amazing project. There are so many amazing online resources for you to explore. And if you want more in-depth information, I also have lots of videos about life in Australia, how to get started, and everything about Australia coming up. Happy planning. Ciao.